Hey, Good Buddies, what's up, and welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Show. I am y'all Good Buddy Roger.
And I am your good buddy Brandon.
And Brandon, you wanna tell them what we're doing this week?
Let me tell you what we're doing this week. If you can give me a little ambient, we are taking another trip to the snowy slopes of Good Buddy Brandon's Mountain Vibe Check. Yes, that's right. It is the winter 2021 season. There's been a lot of stuff premiering. My God.
Boy,
there was one list
yeah.
I saw that said it looked like something like 40 different shows premiering. There's a lot.
Yeah.
And
let me tell you, and Brandon came into this, and he was like, hey, I'm not going to watch all the animes again.
I watched, last year, excluding some sequel series, I watched at least one episode of every anime, and it was a lot, and I was tired.
Yeah.
And you know what I said? I'm going to take a little break.
Yeah. And I watch, I get in there and I'm like, okay, I'm topping out over this last couple of weeks at 10 shows.
Hell yeah, Roger.
One of them isn't from the current season, but and when Jujutsu Kaisen comes back, which I think it came back today, as of this recording on the 15th, that's gonna put me at 11 shows. Like, damn, I am freaking trucking. I'm doing so good. And then Brandon's like, I watched 35 fucking shows.
I didn't watch 35 I watched like one whole episode of maybe 20 and 24 maybe. And I cut myself some slack. I did watch a bunch of other ones, but I didn't finish a lot of them. I got there's a couple I got like 3 minutes in and I was like, nah. So, to be clear, this is Good Buddy Brandon's Mount Vibe Check. This is by no means comprehensive. All opinions are my own. They are not even Roger's. He will chime in when he has something to say.
Yeah, because I did watch some of these.
You watched some of these. But what this is it's your Good Buddy Brandon's personal feelings about these current series that are going on this season. Starting with, if they were so good, Roger, we put them on
the tippity top.
The tippity top.
Oh, the tippity top.
And those that don't quite make it to the tippity top, they're hanging out, having a little snowball fight, making them some snowmen, snow angels, and whatnot. Those guys are chilling out on the plains of doing just fine. And then
they're coming out of their egg and they're doing just fine.
We'll get to that. We then have those that you know what, these aren't completely gone, but they are they're really hanging on. They are cliffhangers. Not as in like, oh, something's gonna happen, as in like the Sylvester Stallone movie. Hanging to the edge. Gotta get them a python and kind of climb back up.
Hanging by a hair.
And then we have those shows that I'm gonna say are straight up trash. Now, to be clear, and we will get to this in a moment, when I say something is in the glacial chasm, I would say that's a trash show. I don't like it personally. There's something about it that skews me out, or I don't get it. But for the most part, it's like, hey, if anybody likes these, I do not begrudge you. I will say, there's one and a half on this list that if you do like it, I kind of think you might be a bad person.
It's like if everybody in the bottom of the chasm, all these shows in the bottom of the chasm, if they lit a fire, this one's inside of the fire.
Yeah, this one's getting burned. This is the one that they're gonna end up Dahmer partying. Like,
oh no.
Donner party? What is
Donner
it?
party.
Donner
yeah.
party. I said Dahmer party? What the fuck?
Hey,
I just combined two
close
different
enough,
cannibals.
dude.
Jesus. Sorry. This one's getting it. And then, of course, where we're gonna start though is those shows that didn't quite get out of the gate. They didn't even make it to the mountain. They are snoozing at the lodge. And let's start there, Roger. I'm just going to run through these. I don't really have much to say about any of them, maybe one or two. So these are the ones that I either started watching and just couldn't finish because I was so bored, or I'll be honest, some of these I truly didn't give a chance. I was just like, I think I'm good. Spoiler alert, there's a lot of idle animes in here. But we have Gekidoll, LBX Girls, I-Star Chu, 2.43 CN High School Volleyball Club. And like, if I'm gonna watch a volleyball anime, I'm gonna watch Haikyuu, which I still haven't yet, to be fair. Wixos Diva Alive, Scar on the Prater, Idols with an exclamation point, Wave, Let's Go Surfing, Skate Leading Stars, Idly Pride, and X-Arm. Now, most of those are shows that are either idol shows or they're about just a bunch of pretty boys doing a sport.
Now,
and
of
I'm
those,
good.
I did watch Scar. Was it Prater Scars?
Scar on the Prater.
Scars on the Prater. Scars on Prater.
Yeah.
I was interested in the animation, and I thought it was unique. Brandon didn't like it very much.
I didn't much care for it.
I think I will give it, like, I'm going to go in. I only watched like 5 minutes of it. I'm going to go in and give it a full episode. And I'll come back and I'll let everybody know how I feel about that.
You give us a little book report. I look forward to it, sir. I'll say that for me, I got maybe 3-4 minutes into that one, and I was like, man, the story isn't really doing it for me. This guy, the weird like CG buildings really turned me off.
The synopsis for it does not sell it.
Yeah, I bet.
Holy tattoos that they use to defend the justice around them.
That sounds lame.
Yeah. Like,
excuse my terminology. Otherwise, in this one, I did actually watch, the only one of these I think I watched a full episode was Wixos Diva Alive, which I was watching. I was like, isn't Wixos like a card game or something? I looked it up. It's like some kind of card game or video game or something. And this is like, they took that. It's like a battle anime / card anime / idol anime. It's all very confusing, and I just didn't much care for it. X-Arm might be the worst show of the season. It was almost certainly the worst show of the season. Horrible animation, CG.
Now, that's not including the one that's in the fire, correct?
For me personally, that one's definitely my least favorite. So I would say like Snoozing at the Lodge gets a little leg up there, but I didn't even give him a full chance, let's be honest. But yeah, the X-Arm is one that has the distinction of being the show that they jumped on. It's a Crunchyroll original, and they jumped on freaking Twitter and were like, step beside every sci-fi anime ever. We got this. It's like, oh, you really gonna do something, huh?
Yeah.
And they put out this trailer, it looked like PS1 graphics, and it's like, man, y'all gonna work on this?
Do you think it was tongue-in-cheek, or do you think it was for real?
I don't know, but
because I mean, you're asking Cowboy Bebop to step aside. You're asking Outlaw Star to step aside.
You don't tempt fate, is what I'm saying. And they not only tempted fate, they then shat the bed right in front of fate.
You can even go new ones. You're asking Astra, Lost in Space, to step aside.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Dr. Stone.
That's a hell of a way to go, guys, but you sure did try it. But that's about it for Snoozing at the Lounge. You know what? Again, I do not begrudge these shows. They are snoozing with a nice mug of cocoa next to the fire, and good for them. I was either very bored or just turned off by them.
Yeah, and let's be real. If we went on a skiing trip, I'd be snoozing at the lodge.
Oh, you damn right. I ain't getting off ice. It's too damn cold. I can't be dealing with
We
that.
had a snow day, but we'll talk about that maybe later.
Maybe later. Next up is the Glacial Chasm. All right. First of all, in the Glacial Chasm, these are what I would call trashy shows. We have the Hidden Dungeon Only I Can Enter. This is one about... I mean, they literally make a joke about this in another isekai I'll get to. This is not an isekai, it's just a fantasy show. Where, like, what the characters always... Like, the main characters, they end up super OP and they always have some kind of just detect ability. The Great Sage or whatever. Where they just know what shit is, right? So this guy has that. But when he uses it, his head hurts real bad. And you actually find out, well, the Great Sage back in the day... whenever his head hurt real bad, he would call upon one of his 6 wives to give him kisses to calm his headaches. And so this girl he's talking to, who he's known since he was a kid, is like, you want to try it? And they just start making out. And she got the big old titties, of course. It's one of those. It's a big old harem anime. And the dude ends up super OP in the first episode.
As a man who suffers from chronic migraines,
it don't hurt. It don't help, is what I'm saying. I also get horrible migraines. It don't fucking help. I love a nice kissy. It don't help.
Have you tried it for migraine though?
You know, I can honestly say I have not. I'll remember that next time.
Okay.
Next time I catch a migraine, I'll be like, come on, let's make out real quick.
I like to dunk my hands in hot water. It helps me.
You told me about that. I still don't fully get it, but I guess, yeah. Anyway, next up, Glacial Chasm, we have Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. This is one that I saw a few people talking about, hyping it up. The show, it's got very cool animation, very smooth, very nice. Story-wise, it's a straight-up isekai. This like 34-year-old jobless virgin dude ends up dead after he tried to... he realized his life was going nowhere and like basically tried to save some kids that were getting hit by a truck in order to, you know, have done something.
Why is it always a truck?
It's always Truck-kun, bro. Everybody's favorite anime character, Truck-kun.
Oh, is this, okay.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Truck-kun.
a thing. It's a thing. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Just like in Fly Me to the Moon. It's like fucking Truck-kun got that boy. It's always Truck-kun, bro. It's always Truck-kun. Anyway, dude dies. He is reincarnated. He wakes up as a little baby who's just been born, and his first thought is, who is this strange man and why is he giving me smooches? That's your dad, boy. Anyway, the reason this one's in the chasm is because the dude is a straight up absolute sex creep, and there's a bit where like he gets a new magic teacher because they find out he can do magic, and he's like, oh, it's gonna be some weird old dude with a long beard. Turns out it's a young woman who, according to him, looks to be about middle school age. Quote, bet her bush hasn't even grown yet. Oh man, she's awkward and whatnot and kind of lolly style. I want to marry her. This dude is a pedophile. He just is. And apparently, if you read the manga, he's a self-professed lolly guy. So he just is a pedo. And I don't want to watch any more of that. So that's the one that, like, again, I don't fully begrudge you if you're into this. I maybe a little, but not really. It's that's your show, fine. It's the animation's very good. I see the appeal. I just don't like this character. I have read that maybe he matures a bit throughout the show. I'm not gonna stick around to find out. It's fine. Here's the one that you might be a bad person. I'm just gonna say it. I think you might be a bad person if you're into this show. And look, that is not to actually shit on anybody. I'm over exaggerating.
But he is shitting on you.
I'm exaggerating a little bit because, I mean, look, it's not real. It's not a real show.
Sure.
But redo of Healer can just fuck off. And I'm not gonna go into major details here. It's a story about a dude who has healing magic, and basically you catch the very beginning of his story and the very end of his story, which he then somehow uses his healing magic. The healing magic makes no fucking sense in this show. He uses healing magic to send his memories back in time so that he can redo his life. And basically, warnings for stuff I'm about to say.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, I mean, I should have had one for the pedophilia thing because that dude was a straight up pedo. But
yeah,
it's basically you find.
I mean, this isn't even a jest, though.
What you're going to find out is that this dude was repeatedly sexually assaulted and raped, and now he's gonna do that to everybody who did it to him. This is a revenge rape story, and that's not cool. And now I'm done talking about it forever.
Yeah,
we don't.
I can't even believe.
We don't need to go.
I didn't watch it, and
details.
now I mean, I definitely won't watch it.
I said I'd give it one just to say I did it.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch any more of this.
And I'm
good.
pretty.
There's also 3 different versions. There's gonna be the regular that goes up and it's heavily censored. There's apparently a less censored version, and then a special paywall, all the titties version.
Go to the Pornhub version.
Yeah, you can get the Pornhub version. Look, if that's fine, but
I mean,
I'm good.
Brandon did explain it to me in detail, and like he said, he's not going to do it here. But I am very. I mean, any of the good buddies listen probably know by now that I'm pretty damn forgiving
on the shit, the itchy shit and whatnot, titties and whatnot.
I can handle a lot, and I can just brush it away, no freaking problem. Very questionable things.
Yeah,
and you know, like, I'm not even gonna pretend like my love of High School DxD is not strange.
He loves High School.
I can't tell people. You know, like, I can go out and explain that, but this
fucking
is
prison school, bro.
Yeah, prison school. It's hilarious. I found a ton of humor in it. This is too much. It's too much.
The last thing I want to say about it is this. I've seen a few websites where people are like, the fucking SJW is gonna.
That feels like that's what this is all about.
This is a shit stirrer show. You're just here to stir shit. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
We're done talking about it.
You just did it to own the libs, dude.
God. Jesus Christ. Speaking of own the libs, let's go to Cliffhanger, and we'll start with Hortensia Saga, which is one that has the incredible distinction of being a fantasy show wherein the first 3 minutes of this fucking show, you're watching. Now, see if you can relate to this, Roger. You're going to watch a neighboring kingdom invade this other kingdom, a big old insurrection where they run in and take over and kill the king and whatnot. Attacking the capital.
When this, like, a week ago.
This bitch came out on the 6th when that was happening. It literally.
Boy, what a time to be alive in America.
Went up same day, baby. And obviously, there's no way they could have planned that, but goddamn, the timing.
Yeah.
This one is a cliffhanger because it was very boring to me, but it's got a little bit of juice in that the princess of the kingdom who manages to get out, no one apparently knows it yet except maybe one character, but the princess is now masquerading as a young squire and training to be a knight. So we got like a cross-dressing battle princess. Cool, I'm with it. I'm down with it. That sounds fun.
It's Mulan.
It could be fun. It could be fun. Probably not. Probably just continue to be boring and whatever, but it could be fun. Next up on the cliffhangers, we got bottom tier character Tomozaki. This is a dude who's really good at Smash Bros, and it is literally Smash Bros. He literally talks with someone about it, and he's like, you're just playing as that Foxy character. Well, yeah, Foxy does fall a little faster than everyone else. Like, this is Smash Bros.
That's Star Fox.
That's literally Fox McCloud. You're playing Smash Bros. Anyway, this guy's real good at Smash Bros, real bad at life. And he actually has a quote at the beginning of the show where he's playing with someone else, and he says it's the worst thing is for a gamer to blame the game for their own failures. Meanwhile, he has no social life, has a horrible shaggy hair, no horrible posture, he never smiles, just nobody likes this dude, he has no friends, and he ends up running across the popular girl from school who apparently is the second best at this game in Japan, after him, of course, and she tells him, it basically returns into like a Taming of the Shrew kind of thing, where it seems like it's like a she's all that. He's gonna try to clean her. She's gonna try to clean him up, and get him to improve his fucking life. And he's not down for it. And then he realizes, wait, I'm a gamer that's saying that the game of life is flawed. It's the worst thing I could do to blame the game for my own failure. So it's like, all right, maybe he is gonna do something with his life. The only reason it's not any higher on the list is because I really just don't like this misanthrope guy and how much he talks about the normies. And I'm like, ugh. These fucking normies. Like, all right, man. Go play some more Smash Bros. I love Smash Bros.
Me too, man.
This guy would
I'm a
whip my
big
ass.
fan of going full Randy.
Love going full Randy. Gotta get that random character, baby. All right. Next up, we got Back Arrow. You watched this one.
I did watch this one.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, man. The first 3/4 of the show is just terrible.
It's shit.
It's so boring.
It's very boring.
And the character designs are bad.
Yeah, they're not great. The robot designs are kind of cool.
Yeah, the robots are kind of neat.
So basically, this is a world where like there's this big continent that's surrounded by this giant wall, and nothing comes over. It's out of the wall, and every now and then these like weird package thingies come from over the wall somehow.
They look like they came from BlazBlue.
Yeah, they do, don't they? And they contain these things that there's these like weird silver armbands that you throw one on, and it turns you into a freaking mech.
Not right. I'm not right sure that I totally understand what's going on with these armbands.
Well, apparently whatever your fucking like thing is, your driving factor, your motivation is,
yes,
they take that and make it real into this robot body. So
yeah,
for example,
and then once you have it, it binds to you.
Right. So for example, one of the first guys you see use it, his whole thing is like he's the absolute strongest and the best. He's got the strongest will, so of course he's got the biggest, baddest robot, and he whips to the last. You see a guy later whose whole thing is it's unacceptable for you to run away, so if you try to run from him, it makes him stronger and faster, so he's gonna catch you and beat you up. And then we get someone who comes out of one of these packages, a person, a nude man.
Yeah.
This is where the show actually gets kind of fun when he shows up.
Yeah.
Mostly because Homegirl's like, please take my grandfather's underwear, and it's literally a thong. But this dude ends up throwing on one of these things and turning into some weird robot, and it's like, well, what's your motivation? I don't fucking know. He doesn't appear to have one. Wild card, bitches. So we'll see how it goes. I might give it another one or two, but I don't really foresee it going very far because, boy, that first 2/3 was boring as all hell.
Yeah, it was really boring.
Yeah. Although the girl who does the robot thing, hers is like cute as shit. Her robot's fucking adorable.
I think the robots are pretty cool.
The robot's pretty cool. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
We'll give it a shot. Next up, so I don't do any sequel series on these. We'll talk about sequel series we watched in a second, but I do have a spin-off, Cells at Work Black, which you have not watched.
I have not.
So if anyone's seen the original Cells at Work, it was a cute little work comedy kind of thing. You got a human body, cells and whatnot are personified as these little anime characters. White Blood Cell just looks like they drew a dude and didn't bother to color him in. It's pretty fun, pretty cute. Cells at Work Black is a much darker, more dire take on that, where the body they are in appears to be that of a perhaps middle to slightly after middle-aged office worker who is just trudging through life. At one point, there is a what do you call it? They see some characters, these cells that are dumping the bad cholesterol in one of these walkways. So obviously, dude is not eating the best. There's a bit where there is a carbon monoxide or dioxide, whatever it is, outbreak in the body and fucks up a bunch of the red cells because dude smoked for the first time in like 10 years. So you're watching this whole thing break down. And it's pretty wild. The reason it's not any higher up is because, one, it's pretty depressing, honestly. Yeah. We'll see how the next couple episodes go. I'll give it a couple more.
Well, I think that's like the purpose. Is this to be a more mature one? Right.
But also, in being more mature, they made the white blood cell a lady with giant tits whose shit is always like all their shit is unzipped down to like damn near the navel, so her titties are almost falling out, and she's swinging around a big sword. You're just gonna slice off a nip knot. That doesn't even make
I'm here
sense.
for it, baby.
You're here for it. It's fine. She does whip a little ass. Good for her. For my money, I don't think there's any way this show can continue unless this fool ends up dying, in which case my hope would be that it turns out he's an organ donor, and like one of his good organs, a couple of the main characters get moved to another body and actually have a good life. Because the whole thing you're following, just like in the original Cells at Work, this new red blood cells. First day on the job. All right. Watch the training video. Get to say hi to everybody and be all happy. And gets out there and like, move the oxygen. Well, we're supposed to just be shadowing today. Move the oxygen. We don't have fucking time. All right. Get the oxygen. Get it going. Go. Go, 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 go. Like, so fucking serious. It also does have this like malaise of like, this is how fucked up capitalism can be on top of it, which, hey, I'm here for it. But overall, it just kind of made me sad. So we'll see how it goes. Next up, cliffhanger. I'll try to get through these last few pretty quick. We have Dr. How'd you say it? Ramane, mysterious disease specialist. This one was just weird, and I didn't much care for it, and I was kind of bored. But it's not straight up trash, so it's a cliffhanger. We'll give it one or two more, but it's basically a dude who takes on these cases of people who have weird ghost or occult style sicknesses. For example, in the first episode, there's a girl who weeps different condiments. She cries mayonnaise. What? And then, like, it ends up being that she's suppressing her real emotions, so she doesn't cry real tears. She cries these fake tears. It doesn't make it.
But why is it mayonnaise?
Great question. Why is it also ketchup? And then why is it soy sauce? Great question. Doesn't make a lick of fucking sense.
All sounds like it would burn.
The soy sauce did burn a lot. And then it ends up being a whole thing where like she's in a pretty abusive relationship with her mother, who like is using her because she's a child actress to get money and blah blah blah. It gets pretty dark toward the end, and then it gets a little bit better. Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching this. The animation was kind of meh, and I don't like the character designs. They look dumb as hell. So that's about it for that one. Vlad Love is a show on YouTube. The first episode is on YouTube. I think I read that it was licensed by Amazon, so maybe it'll show up on Amazon as a full show. But right now you can watch episode 1 on YouTube. It's a show. This is the lesbian vampire show, where you have a girl who is obsessed with donating blood, wants to donate blood as much as possible. She's perhaps has a blood fetish, not sure. But she ends up running into and meeting this straight up vampire girl who's like, I need blood. And she's like, do you? Do you want some? I'll give you some. And like, that's the show. But it's also just very strange. It has these weird jokes where like the school nurse is like really hot and wears a very tight, inappropriate dress with like her titties halfway hanging out. And then she just is naked for a little while. Censored, of course.
And I never had any hot school nurses.
Yeah,
I think
me
I
neither.
got robbed.
Yeah, dude. Fucking cheated out of that shit. This is not at all how Animaniacs made me think it would be. But, yeah, it's just a weird show.
Hello, nurse.
Hell yeah. I'll tell you, man, the thing that really just kind of bums me out about this one is that lesbian vampire stories should be amazing to me. But the way they portray the main character who's like obsessed with donating blood and stuff is like, you wrote this as a male character and then decided she was female and put the titties on her. That's what it feels like. It doesn't, I don't know. And it feels like a weird thing to say. Maybe I'm being too like judgmental or whatever, but it really is just written as every fucking, oh my god, she's so hot, kind of like shitty male character. And it doesn't really work for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hard on it. I'll give it a couple more whenever they show up. Lastly, in cliffhangers, Kimono Jihen.
Yep, I watched this one too. I'd probably leave it in the lodge.
You probably would have left it in the lodge.
Yeah.
But you did watch the whole episode.
I did watch the whole episode.
Okay. This is the story of a what is he, like an occult detective kind of guy
Yeah.
with a literal spirit gun,
spirit
though.
detective, you might call him.
And he has a literal spirit gun, by which I mean he can summon a ghost gun that when he shoots it, the shell casings hit the ground and disappear. It's a literal spirit gun. And he finds this kid who is some kind of ghoul, and he helps him out.
He's got a weird life stone thing that keeps him from being a ghoul.
Yeah, and it seems like we're gonna
Go figure, the real people in life are actually the ghouls all along.
Oh wow, that's fucking what gripping social commentary. But like the big thing here is that at the end of that episode, they end up in Tokyo, back at his office, and there's more characters are introduced who presumably will also have some weird spirit powers. This could be good.
Yeah.
I'll
I don't
give it a
know,
couple.
man. I'll give it at least one more, but
Yeah, I'll give
the
it.
animation was all over the place.
Yeah.
And
You showed me some stuff for it, but
Yeah.
like I missed because I was watching on my phone at lunchtime.
it doesn't. I don't know, man. It did not grip me at all. The story wasn't terribly fascinating.
Also, warning for that one of a little bit of violence against children, because
Yeah.
I mean the kid literally fucking shot in the head.
Yeah, but
Good
if you
Lord.
watch When They Cry, you can watch this. I promise.
Oh God, yeah, you'll be fine. Next up, let's move on up to the snowy fields of doing just fine. First off, let's start with Other Side Picnic, which is one that was recommended to us. I had actually already watched it before we got
I
recommended.
haven't watched this one, but I have been intending to watch it.
It's a strange one that doesn't explain much. I'm gonna give it a few more episodes easily, and we'll see how I feel about it then. But I like it so far. It is a story of these two young girls who end up in some kind of weird dream world populated by these strange monsters. It plays a lot on some of the, urban legend kind of stuff. Like they literally at one point get to this strange other world by doing the elevator game, where if you go to the floors in a certain order, then you end up somewhere else. That kind of stuff. It's pretty interesting. Looks like it's definitely got it looks like it's gonna go the like Yuri route, which, hey man, points for me. You know I love that gay shit.
Yeah.
So I'm into it so far. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, there is a little bit of violence in it against these girls, so be prepared for that if that's a deal breaker for you. But I like it so far. Next up we have. Boy, don't you love it when the title of the show just tells you everything you need to know?
Yeah, man, it's like 40 characters long.
Yeah,
you have to
dude.
remember, or 40 words, excuse me.
If I may. Suppose a kid from the last dungeon boonies moved to a starter town. I fully expected this to be a trash show, and I kind of like it. You basically got this kid who, I mean, if that title didn't tell it for you, he comes from a town near the last dungeon of this fantasy world, and ends up moving to the starter town of this fantasy world. Now, what that means is that while he may be the weakest kid in that starter town, or so he believes, he gets here, and he is stronger than literally everybody. Crazy OP, but here's the thing about him. He's a sweet little cinnamon roll baby boy. He's just such a nice little boy. He just wants to help people and do good. He just wants to do good. And he fully does not understand that he is incredibly stupid idiot strong. He just doesn't get it. Fully clueless. And of course, every lady in this fucking show more or less immediately falls in love with him. One in particular, full on is like, oh, I'm gonna marry that boy. Because he accidentally removes a curse from her, which is pretty fun. That he's just that cool, he can do it accidentally. Anyway, pretty fun show. I won't spoil too much more. I rather enjoyed it. I've actually watched 2 of that one because when I started watching the first episode, the second one had just dropped. So I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'll just watch another one. Pretty fun. We'll see how it goes. It's not bad. Don't go looking for anything too deep, honestly, but it's good dumb fun. Next up, Heaven's Design Team. Interesting art style, pretty minimal animation. I rather enjoy it. This is a show about basically God created the heavens and the earth, and then he created all the animals and whatnot, but he didn't. He kicked it over to a design team to let them handle it. And it's pretty fun. There is some weird stuff with the animals, like when they're trying to make the animals, like they get this one wrong and it immediately collapses, which is maybe kind of hard to watch if you love animals a whole bunch. It's a cartoon and they're also not real animals yet, so meh.
Yeah.
But there's another guy who really likes to try eating the animals. He wants to give it a taste test, so maybe that will skeeve you out. Mostly I just really like certain aspects of them. Like we got one guy who's like the first thing is like, we need to make a giraffe. How are we going? They don't make a giraffe. They say we need to make a creature that can eat the leaves on the high up trees. Okay. So we got like this guy who's like, well, after I made my masterpiece, the horse, obviously we want to just build off that design. So here's a Pegasus. This guy made the horse. He's one note. The horse is like the best animal. They love the horse. So that's all he does is keep trying to remake the horse. They then explain why a Pegasus wouldn't work, because like it would have to have hollow bones and also be super buff and be shitting constantly because it's a bird horse. So they don't make a Pegasus. They then, there's a guy who's like kind of the out there one, kind of artsy. He's like, what I've decided to make is actually another tree that has bubbles for leaves. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Well, it's a tree with bubbles for leaves. Don't eat nothing. All right, fine. What do you got? I made a deer with a long neck. We can work with this. So that's the show, basically. It's pretty fun. I rather enjoy it.
It sounds cool.
The characters are pretty neat. There is a little bit of skeevy stuff with, so if you read the manga, apparently one character is canonically a trans woman. Kind of bum people out that they, one, got a just regular male voice actor to play the character, and two, are kind of like erasing that part of the story. There is actually, it kind of weirded me out that one of the characters says, oh yeah, he's like that, and I'm like, wait. So I don't know, a little weird there. We'll see how that goes, but honestly, the show's not bad.
It's supposed to be a trans woman.
It is a trans woman. It is a woman.
Okay.
But yeah, weird little thing with that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If it gets to be one of those where like they make jokes about it and shit, then I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Story wise, I rather enjoy that one. It's not bad. Next up,
sounds funny.
We have So I'm a Spider, So What? This is another isekai, spider isekai, which I went into it thinking this sounds like it's going to be kind of like slime. It is kind of like slime, but basically you start with this school, all the kids are in the class, then something happens and they all explode. Now I don't know if a comet hit or if the school had a gas leak, but the whole school just explodes.
They all dead.
Apparently. And then we see a spider being hatched from an egg. The spider's very cute. It's just adorable.
It is a cute looking spider.
It's a cute little spider. It's all like CG too, so it's not bad CG. It's way better than X-Arm. But it's a cute little spider, and you find out, oh, this is the girl from that school. Cool. So the first like half to 2/3 of the show is that little spider figuring out different stuff. They have a great joke in here, I said earlier, where she's like, man, if this was like one of those mangas, I would have some kind of detect skill. And then this little voice goes, boop, boop. Would you like to unlock detect skill? It costs 100 experience points. You have 100 experience points. Oh, hell yeah, I'm going to get detect. Detect skill unlocked. Awesome. All right. What is this rock? Is this cool rock? That's a rock. But like, is it a cool rock? What kind of rock is it? That's a rock. All right. What about the wall here? Will that tell me where this cave is? Like what kind of cave it is? Bing. That's a wall. Okay, but where am I? That's a wall. God damn it! Why did I waste points on this? Fucking great. It's fucking amazing. Very meta, very fun. And then like has to fight fight a big lizard or something that tries to eat her. It's great. Pretty fun show so far. The real kicker for this one, I don't want to get too spoilery on, but basically the last third or so of it, you are introduced to a bunch of these human characters. It's like, oh, this is the daughter of one of the dukes, and this is the greatest swordsman, and blah blah blah. We're at this fancy party, and they meet this elf lady who's like, oh hey, how's it going, kid? And they're like, oh hey, teach, what's up, blah blah. And they're like, oh, I guess she was their teacher or something. Nope. Turns out everybody in that class got isekai'd, which is pretty fucking rad. I don't think I've seen an isekai do that yet. I've seen ones where like, oh, this person got isekai'd and then this other person also got isekai'd, but they usually don't know each other. This is like apparently the full fucking class. And if the fucking villain of this show ends up being one of the kids, that's gonna be fun. Why not? The only real downside of here is that that I would say like, this is kind of fucked, is that they do a joke where one of the girl characters who you were introduced to was a boy in the school, and they're like, dude, you got reincarnated as a girl, and he's like, hey, chill out, man, I didn't want this. It's like, okay, well, can't just do it. You got to make a shitty joke about it. Fine, whatever. We'll see how it goes. I rather enjoyed that first episode though, and now for another one that Roger did watch. Let me tell you about Skinfinity.
Skinfinity.
Skate the Infinity is what it's called.
Flashy show.
Very flashy.
It's like a cross between Initial D and I can't remember what my other one that I had in my mind was. But
oh no, he had one.
It is very Initial D is the prime component of it that I remember.
Yeah, man.
It's underground racing, except instead of streetcars, they are racing with skateboards.
Yeah, dude. At this thing called S. And we'll see how it goes. I'm into the show so far. Basically, you got this new kid. There's this kid who's like total skater. Yeah, I'm super rad. I'm doing kickflips and shit. Tony Hawk. And it's just too cool for school, man. And then this other kid shows up who just showed up here from Canada, transferred to this school or whatever. And that kid, like, tries to tell him about skateboards, like, whatever, skateboard. Doesn't get it. You then find out, oh, he was a snowboarder, and boy, he can actually rip it and rock it when he knows what he's actually doing it his way. So we'll see how it goes. Pretty cool. There are a couple things that scheme me out. Particularly the treatment of women in the show is kind of a bummer. Like, there's a dude. It's like, how are we going to show that this guy's the bad guy? It's not enough that he's an asshole to everybody and also has the crazy face paint and a mohawk and is just a jerk in general. Hey, let's make him insult that lady. Hey, when I beat you, your girl's you're gonna have to get a new tattoo above your girlfriend's name that says garbage slut. It's like, oh, okay. That's
he's
fucked
the
up.
anti-hero though.
Yeah. It's kind of shitty. They also do a thing where they're like, people put everything on the line here. Money, food, cars, women. Oh, okay. All right. So it's not, it's skeevy. We'll see how it goes. Again, it could end up being like really rad in the next couple of episodes. Could continue to do shitty stuff, and I'm like, whatever. It is very flashy though.
Yeah.
Has really
I
great
like
animation.
the show a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm into it. I am into it. I mean, again, this might be nitpicking, but they're my nits, and I'm gonna pick them. It's my list. Fuck you. It's my mountain. Anyway, I got a couple more nits to pick in a minute, but I enjoy the show. I think it's cool. It's got a really cool style. I'm really into it. I'm
excited to see where it goes.
By no means am I shitting on Skate the Infinity. I hope it continues to be cool. I like it. Yeah. Got anything to say about that one? Pretty nice. All right. Well, we've made it, Roger.
Yep.
All the way to the tippity top.
Tippity top.
And let's start on the tippity top with a show that I watched and then you watched that I've rather enjoyed. It's called Horimia, which is the first half of the two main characters' first names. This is going to be just a super, it seems like it's going to be just a super cute little romance.
Nice little rom-com.
Nice little rom-com.
Opposites attract.
Opposites attract, baby. And more importantly, there's sometimes, and I'll cop to this, there's a certain way you portray yourself when you're out in the world, when you're at your job, sometimes even when you're with your friends, that when you're alone, you might be a little bit different. And basically, we have this super popular girl and this super quiet loner guy with big shaggy hair that everyone's like, hey, he looks like some kind of weird, like, otaku guy, who managed to run into each other when they're not putting on this separate face, and they end up just kind of hanging out, and you kind of get to see what they're like. The dude, it turns out, has a bunch of piercings, is a little bit of a punk, and the girl is like very much a caretaker, trying to take care of her little brother.
He's also got those Samoan tattoos.
That's what I was gonna get at. That's what I was gonna get at. You see these tattoos, and they're like tribal style. This is my nit to pick. It's like, motherfucker, tribal tattoos are horseshit. You are not from no tribe. You ain't no Uso. You ain't no fucking Uso. And what did you say?
I said he must be a big fan of The Rock.
Yeah. Fucking tattoos. Anyway, yeah, it's goofy, but I enjoy the show. The only thing that really bothered me about it at all was at the very fucking beginning, in the first like minute of the show, the teacher makes some untoward comments toward the main girl character, and it's like, he literally is like, I like flat-chested girls, and gives her a thumbs up, and it's like,
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's real shitty.
Yeah,
That's
look up. I also enjoyed flat-chested women.
Neat.
Which, sure, but...
Yeah, listen. Daddy always said anything more than a mouthful is wasted. That's not the point. This is a student-teacher relationship. You don't do that.
And then again, GTO is one of my favorite animes of all time.
God,
so.
you fucking would. Yeah, it's true. You do love GTO.
I do.
But also, the thing that really bums me about that is that apparently if you look up the manga, that the teacher's not part of it.
I
They just kind of threw that in for the fucking anime. They were like, let's throw a little.
That was one of the things
let's
that
just give it a little Salt Bay of pedophile in there.
I saw it and I was like, oh, Brandon's gonna hate this.
Yeah.
But you know, like to me, I just flicked it off. It didn't matter.
I know it doesn't really matter. That again, it's a tiny little nitpick that just this character is being an asshole. But you know, it's my nit to pick. I'm picking my nits. I'm a nitpicker. Anyway, last up, Tippity Top. I think me and Roger are in agreement that this is our favorite premiere so far.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Wonder Egg Priority.
Yeah.
This is a weird fucking show.
Cool, man.
It's so cool. It's so strange. This, I don't really want to get spoiler with it. I will say, I want everyone listening to this, if you have not watched this show, to go in as blind as possible. I will only say that it is very dreamy.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of felt like a Paprika or Inception to me.
Yeah.
And that it is going to end up being a show, it seems, about people, one, trying to help each other or their friends and dealing with some pretty deep-seated trauma.
Right.
And it does have some pretty heavy themes. You are going to see some stuff about bullying. You are going to see some stuff about suicide.
You're gonna see outright blood, and
there's some blood. There's attacks that happen, but easily my favorite thing I watched this far.
It's so
far this
cool.
season.
It's so weird too.
It's so strange.
Just the way they do the atmosphere. The animation is amazing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
It's very interesting. I really think, like, again, I want everyone to go in as blind as possible. Check out Wonder Egg Priority. It is such a freaky little show that is absolutely going to make me cry. Oh, I'm gonna cry so hard. I just know it. But I'm really into it so far. I'm feeling that show. That is easily my tippity-toppiest.
Yeah.
Of the tippity-top.
It's freaking cool.
And again, who knows? This is one episode in, baby. We might get to episode 3 and I'm like, man, this show sucks. I don't see that happening. It could happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will come back into Good Buddy Brandon's Mount Vibe Check at a later date and see how everything shifted around, if it shifted at all. For now, though, Roger, I have a question for you that burns within my very soul.
Is it what seasonal anime have you been watching?
Yes.
That's on their second season?
Yeah.
Thanks a ton for hanging out with us, good buddies. We hope that you enjoy the videos we're putting out. Be sure to check out the other best of. Be sure to leave us your thoughts in the comments below. We really appreciate that. You guys are the best. Thanks a ton, good buddies. All the plugs are in the links below. You can check all that stuff out. But we'll catch you next time. Love ya.